Good evening, friends, and welcome to tonight's time of reflection, the penultimate reflection in our series that we've entitled Keeping Lent with the Psalmist. I want to break a little bit from the pattern that we've set over the last couple of weeks, wherein we've focused mainly on the Psalms that are set down by the lectionary. Tonight, I want to reflect on a psalm that's not set down by the lectionary, at least not in this period of Lent, this portion of the Lenten season. Psalm 69, a psalm that in the last few weeks has sort of re-entered my imagination and impressed itself upon me with considerable force for a few reasons. One, because of the gospel text that we read a couple of weeks ago for our Sunday service, where we found Jesus overturning the tables in the temple courts and chasing out the moneylenders, and the disciples then remembering that it was written of Jesus that zeal for your house will consume me. That particular phrase is found in Psalm 69. Another reason is that this is a psalm that, second perhaps only to Psalm 22, is quoted most often in the New Testament. That's an observation that was made by the 19th century Anglican bishop, Bishop Perrone. Thirdly and finally, because of how often it's quoted in the New Testament, it's clear that this is perhaps one of the most profound, most pronounced messianic psalms. Psalms in a psalm in which we find allusions to, whispers of, echoes of, and prophecies too that point to the person of Jesus. As we lead up to Holy Week next week, which stretches from Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday, as we're immersed and confronted with that final week of Jesus' life in a way that is deliberate and determined, it is perhaps only right and fitting that we spend a bit of time tonight focusing on Psalm 69. So I'd like you to take this moment and to grow quiet, as we do on a weekly basis, as we prepare to read some of the words of Psalm 69 together. The words will appear on your screen, and I invite you to read along, to read out loud, to read with those who are watching tonight's reflection with you. So let's read together Psalm 69. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in the miry depths where there is no foothold. I have come into the deep waters, the floods engulf me. I am worn out calling for help, my throat is parched. My eyes fail looking for my God. Those who hate me without reason outnumber the hairs of my head. Many are my enemies without cause, those who seek to destroy me. I am forced to restore what I did not steal. You, God, know my folly. My guilt is not hidden from you. Lord the Almighty, may those who hope in you not be disgraced because of me. God of Israel, may those who seek you not be put to shame because of me. For I endure scorn for your sake, and shame covers my face. I am a foreigner to my own family, a stranger to my own mother's children. For zeal for your house consumes me, and the insults of those who insult you fall on me. When I weep and fast, I must endure scorn. When I put on sackcloth, people make sport of me. Those who sit at the gate mock me, and I am the song of the drunkards. But I pray to you, Lord. In the time of your favor, in your great love, O God, answer me with your sure salvation. Rescue me from the mire. Do not let me sink. Deliver me from those who hate me, from the deep waters. Do not let the flood waters engulf me, or the depths swallow me up, or the pit close its mouth over me. Answer me, Lord, out of the goodness of your love. In your great mercy, turn to me. Do not hide your face from your servant. Answer me quickly, for I am in trouble. Come near and rescue me. Deliver me because of my foes. You know how I am scorned, disgraced and shamed. All my enemies are before you. Scorn has broken my heart and has left me helpless. I looked for sympathy, but there was none, for comforters, but I found none. They put gall in my food and gave me vinegar for my thirst. May the table set before them become a snare. May it become retribution and a trap. May their eyes be darkened so they cannot see, and their backs be bent forever. Pour out your wrath on them. Let your fierce anger overtake them. May they be blotted out of the book of life and not be listed with the righteous. But as for me, afflicted and in pain, may your salvation, God, protect me. I will praise God's name in song and glorify Him with thanksgiving. A beautiful and moving psalm indeed, quite dark at points. And I'm sure that many of you, as we went through the psalm, would have picked up on those echoes and whispers of the person of Jesus that we see in the psalm. I'd like to read to you the way that Charles Spurgeon described the vision of Jesus as seen in this psalm. In this, we have the lily among thorns, the lily of the valley, fair and beautiful, blooming in the garden of Gethsemane. If any inquire, of whom does the psalmist speak? Of himself or of some other man? We would reply, of himself and of some other man. Who that other is, we need not be long in discovering. It is the crucified one. Him alone who can say, in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. It is true, as we've mentioned, that in this psalm we see the person of Jesus, more particularly his sorrow, his suffering and his hardship, his struggle at the point of crucifixion. And it's right then, in the week leading up to Holy Week, as we mentioned a moment ago, that we should take a moment to pause on this particular psalm and to reflect on it. But I'd like to suggest that the best way to see Jesus in the psalm is not through the direct allusions of certain portions of it, like having been given vinegar for his thirst as he hung on the cross, but rather in the contrast that we see between Jesus and David, the author of the psalm. David, in his distress, in his dark struggle, calls out for vengeance, that his enemies, that those who mock him and scorn him would be put to shame, that their backs would be bent in suffering. He wants vengeance. If there was ever one who could rightfully claim such a thing or pray such a prayer, it would be Jesus at the point of his suffering and his crucifixion. But he does precisely the opposite. He says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. When David asks that those who would mock him and scorn him would have their names blotted out of the book of life, that they would never inherit the kingdom, Jesus says to the thief on the cross next to him, today you will be with me in paradise. Friends, as we move into Holy Week, as we reflect on the tremendous gift of God's salvation offered in the person of Jesus, as we allow this psalm to infiltrate our own imaginations, that even in the pages of the Old Testament, we might see the beauty of the lily of the valley, the person of Jesus Christ. We do so by looking at the contrast between Jesus and David, between Jesus and us, where we, in our moments of unjust suffering, the oppression that others exercise over us, when we're subjected to hardship and to struggle because of the evil acts of others, the corruption of others, we would want vengeance. But this is the wonder and the beauty of the person of Jesus, that he wants not vengeance, but that in love for us, he gives himself completely, fully, breathing out his last, pouring out all he has, that we might know God's love, and that we might share in the salvation that God offers through Jesus. As we allow this reflection to continue to simmer and to penetrate our thoughts, I want to invite you to sit back and to listen to a beautiful sung version of this psalm that's recorded for us by William, and it really is something that is quite moving. Would you join me in listening to this beautiful psalm?
Save me, O God, I sink in floods, plunged into misery. My constant weeping brings no help. Lord, hear and answer me. In full assurance of your grace, I turn to you and pray. Deliver me from surging floods. Draw near, reach out in care. Your steadfast mercy, Lord, is good. Hide not your face from me. Hear my distress and answer, Lord. Make haste and set me free. You know of my reproach and shame. My heart despairs from grief. I looked for pity, but I found no comfort or relief. Though I am poor and sorrowful, O Lord, attend my cry. Let your salvation come to me.